Hi everybody, today as promised is my July 4th mani. As a matter of fact, I've done two. We're going to start first with the Sinful mani, which is a color block with a glitter topper. You'll need a red, white, and blue and silver polish along with a glitter topper. Beginning with a base of white, I'm going to start by adding a guide down my nail, so I go about halfway down my nail and then I join that off to the side. So I've created my first block. I fill that in using the brush that comes with the polish. You could certainly use tape if you're really particular and want perfectly straight lines. I'm a little bit too impatient for that and hate waiting for the polish to dry, so I just eyeball it and it turns out great, so I'm quite happy just doing it this way. For the area at my cuticle end of my nail, I'm using my thin art brush again. Just creates less cleanup and less chance of getting polish on your skin. And there you have it, color block, add a glitter topper, and you're done. Quick and easy. With the right colors, it's perfect for July 4th. Moving on to the second tutorial, I have this kind of grunge looked flag with star nail studs. You'll need a red, white, and blue polish and some nail studs. For this flag, I am dry brushing in my colors now. I'm saying dry brush, but the brush isn't really dry. It's the same technique, except for I did want more of a solid color. But because I'm going for this grunge look, I wanted to use the brush and just randomly place them so the edges are a little bit rough. So I add a blue area, a red area, and then I go in and add a red and white striped area. So I'm just adding in those kind of thicker red lines with the brush that came along with the polish. And I like that the edges are rough and kind of uneven. Moving on to my next nail, I do the same thing. I add a red area. I add those thicker red stripes for the red and white stripes. I add a blue area and I leave behind a white section on my nail. I do this for each of my nails, including my thumb. I just do the placement slightly different on each finger. You could do them all the same if you wanted. I just prefer the look with them all slightly different. Once your base is dry, you're ready to start adding your nail art. So I'm adding white stripes to each of the solid red sections, and I'm trying to make sure that the stripes go in the opposite direction of the thicker red stripes that are already on my nail, and I'm just doing this freehand with my thin art brush and my white polish. For the blue areas, I'm using my thin art brush and again white polish, and I'm drawing in stars. If you're not comfortable drawing stars that are this small, you could certainly just do dots instead, or you could use stickers or stamping if you wanted to do that. You don't even need tools. If you're going to do dots, you can use a bobby pin, a pencil end. There are lots of things you can replicate dots with. You don't need to spend the money and buy dotting tools. I'm trying to keep my stars all symmetrical in size, and I do add some pieces peeking off to the side. So fill in your stars in all your blue areas, and then we're ready to move on to the next step. For the next step, I'm using these nail studs. I got mine from the Born Pretty store. I apply a top coat to my nail, and depending on how quick your top coat dries, you may need to move fairly fast. With mine, I can just wait a second or two, and then stick that nail stud right into the wet top coat, and that will adhere it in place. I just use the other end of my brush to tap that down in place. And that's pretty much it. You may want to add another top coat over top of that, depending on how rough you are with your nails. And that's it for my July 4th manis. I hope you like them. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.